Hi, and welcome to the Socialize forecast, June 25th, 2024. Today is Tuesday, so we're going to share trends, content ideas, tutorials, and updates in general. But we have big news, and I'm going to kick it off with that. So many of you might already know that I work in TV commercial production, and I do commercial shoots, video content, etc. for clients. And it occurred to me as I have clients often asking me about influencers, if I know anybody who'd be interested in doing this or that. And more this is happening. So we've decided we're going to open up a kind of job posting board, opportunity board. We'll decide what we're going to call it, but where we're going to share opportunities for content creators. So even if you are not a user-generated content creator already, or someone who does sponsorships or any of that, if you have an audience, if you understand how to edit, and if you have interest in doing video content for potential brands, this news is for you. Now, let me just start by saying you don't necessarily have to do content where you're in it and it's about you posting for a brand. This is also potential opportunities for making videos for another brand. So you might not have to be in it as the face. There might be some requirements or some videos, whatever it is, product videos, stop motion videos, etc., that you have the skill set because you're learning how to edit. And the more you learn, the more marketable you are for these opportunities. So a lot of them are going to be dependent on your following. So obviously, if you have a bit of a following, and I'm not saying this has to be hundreds of thousands, this is potentially for nice sized creators who might be on the smaller side, but it's something that you're interested in doing, maybe as a side hustle. Maybe you just want to try it out and see if you're good at it. This one is for you. I often get clients that ask me about it. And Julie and I talked about it for a while. We thought about doing this for a while, and we decided that right now there's a very strong looming opportunity that we're thinking we're going to kick it off with. So I wanted to make sure I start to collect names, usernames, information about those of you who are interested in these opportunities, because I have a feeling there's going to be more and more of them as we get this rolling, because it comes up all the time. So hopefully you're here listening to the podcast if you got the newsletter this morning, because I do think anybody could be considered for this. Anybody who is interested in making content, who likes making content. And honestly, you never know what the brand is looking for. So a lot of times they're looking for specifically for a mom with small kids at home, or a grandma, like maybe there's something geared towards kids. Sometimes it's geared towards, who knows, oral health care, because I work with those brands. So a lot of times you don't know it's not just because you're a flashy makeup creator or you know about skincare. Oftentimes it's actually not that. So I urge you to think about it and go to the newsletter today, click on the apply thing and just put in the number of followers you have, what your interests are, and your username, so that we can put you on a list for consideration. And then when we start posting these things, we'll know if we have the right people who are already in the database for it. I'm so excited. I'm really excited about this one. And the other thing you should be aware of in today's newsletter is that today at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we have an editing workshop. So get on that one if you are interested in learning how to edit speaking videos. That is the specific focus for today. But if you don't even know how to edit, it doesn't matter if you are interested in doing speaking videos. This editing lesson will be great for you as a beginner. So consider it. Go hop on it. I purposely got the newsletter out earlier today to give you more time to make sure that you can hop on this 10 o'clock workshop. I don't usually do them in the morning because I'm usually waiting for Julie to wake up on the West Coast, but I decided, because the last one she wasn't able to make it and I was able to run it on my own, didn't have too much trouble doing it, I said, let me open up a morning one. A lot of people ask for different time zones because maybe there's people in the UK or there's people in Australia that can't make the ones in the middle of the day, because then it's the middle of the night there. Or some people that can't make my evening ones because it's way too late there, depending on where your time zone is. So hopefully this will accommodate some new people. I really, really hope so. And I put out a tutorial this week. It wasn't even a tutorial, an announcement about this workshop, because I want to make sure I'm getting more people that are new beginners that want to learn while I'm in the midst of this beginner series. So I'm fairly excited. The other thing that I want to share is that this weekend I was able to teach my oldest son and daughter-in-law a bit about editing. This was really interesting to me because they've both been watching my content, obviously, since the beginning. And they see me do it. They see me doing the TikToks all the time and different transitions and things that I do right here in the house. I get them in the content, but neither one of them has known how to edit their own videos. And we had so much fun because we sat down in person and it was from the beginning, and they really want to focus on Instagram. So I said, let's just go into the Instagram app and I'll show you how to edit right in the Instagram app so that it condenses things for them. Boy, were they enlightened with the templates. They didn't even realize that when you click the plus to start an Instagram video that you should choose Reel so that it opens up the opportunities for the templates. So I'm probably going to do a tutorial about this soon because I'm thinking, gosh, if they don't know, and they live with the queen of content over here. Well, they don't live with me, but they're in my circle. But they don't know. There's probably a lot of people that don't know that. So if you're on Instagram and you don't know that when you press the plus to start an Instagram reel, you should press Reel to open up all the options so that you can see the music and the templates and all the things that you can do. Okay, excited about that. Anyway, the point of the story is I sat down with them, gave them a quick lesson, and both of them had a different style immediately. So Jenna went right into templates and she was understanding how to pick music and edit to the music. And she picked that up really, really quick. Like, boom, she got the vibe. She's also got a very sweet manner. So her videos match her manner. Now my son, which is funny, more of the analytical brain, he's in finance, and he right away wanted to know how to do the transitions. Like, how do you do those things where you zoom in and zoom out? And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. So I gave him a transition lesson. Well, both of them paid attention, where I showed him different ways to transition from shot to shot, scene to scene, swish up. And then when you go to the next scene, swish from below to up. Gave him all my little nuggets. And honestly, an hour later, he showed me a video and I was so proud. Woo, because he got it. He really got it. And he was able to do those transitions as slick as I do them. So I have to say apple tree because he really picked it up and I was so proud. So someone who is in finance, has never done a social media video before, was able to do a whole entire transition video. And I might just link it into the show notes here. So if you're watching, you can go see what he did for his first time out. It was so impressive. All right, onward, let's get to the trends. I'm spending way too much time talking about other things today, but I'm just too excited about the new news on the potential content creator opportunities and the fact that I saw my own lessons happening in real time. This is when I love when I see a content creator that learns something from my tutorial and then tags me in their video and I get to see how they did it. I get so excited. Often I share those to my story and I'll say, this person learned from my lesson because I get too excited about it. So if you learn something and you tag me, you could be featured in my story because I do that a lot. I really enjoy that. All right, let's get on to trends for today. And this one's so hot. It's like every other video right now on my page. It's called Every Time I Feel Pretty. And we have to get behind it because all of us know those moments where you feel like, oh, I look good today. Let me take a selfie. Or sometimes I'll be texting with a friend and they'll say, what's up? And I will send a picture of where I am. And if I'm out for a run or something like that, I do this with Julie a lot. I immediately text her back a photo of what I'm doing instead of typing it. And so a lot of times I have these little random selfies in my phone where I felt good enough to take a selfie. So this is a perfect trend for those selfies that you take and you keep in your phone, maybe for your own self on a day where you feel good. The trend is starting with, I took a selfie every time I felt pretty. And that's the text on the first frame. And then it cuts to all of these shots of your selfies where you felt pretty, you felt good. Or you can also do it sarcastically where it's shots where you look yucky and they're just funny shots. So you can do this however you like. It is a CapCut template, so it makes it very, very easy for you to do. I will mention, since it's a CapCut template, I'm going to jump down. My tutorial for today is tips with using CapCut templates. And I really will urge you to watch that because you'll learn a few things about templates that maybe you didn't know and you can apply if you're doing this trend. For example, if let's say the music doesn't attach, perfect time to understand how to use the template and get the music back on it. All right, so check out that selfie. I'm going to talk about it again a little bit later, but that's the one that will help you with this trend. Next is you're just here for the zip line. This is a funny one because you're going to grab a friend for this and it's a lip sync. And one of you is the one saying, oh, you're just here for the zip line. And the other person is lip syncing, what? Like trying to say, not me, not me. And the idea is that there's two roles. The person who maybe invited you somewhere and you're only here for the snacks, or you're only here for the pool, or you're only here, because whatever, to pet the puppies if that you have like a new dog. So I think that this can be taken a lot of different ways. This can be used easily for businesses when a customer walks in and you say they're only here for, and it's, let's say your products are lip glosses. They're only here for the lip glosses, and the person's like, what? Because yes, that's all they're obsessing on is the lip glosses in the store, whatever it is. So think about how you can apply it to a business. I always say I challenge my small businesses to take these everyday trends and spin it. And we know who's good at this. I always say, share facts, see you or for you. Lisa, sorry, always butcher your name. But Share Facts always hits up the trends and manages them to spin them for her business. Okie dokie, next one. Oh my gosh. Next one and last one is the one that I did this weekend on the beach. So a little backstory. I'm known here in my beach community for being the TikTok lady, the one who does all the TikToks. And so my younger millennial or Gen Z neighbors, children of my neighbors, are always they're into it. So one of them had a bunch of friends down, and she said, oh my God, one of my friends is obsessed with TikTok too, and she'll make a TikTok with you. And that's all I have to hear. Don't ask me twice. So I said, oh goodness, what am I going to find? And first I had a really aggressive dance, and she was not up for that. But then I had the idea of doing this one, which is Match My Freak. And I challenged her basically to dance on the beach in public and match my crazy dance in public freak. And she was up for it. She did it. She was amazing. So Molly, thank you. I don't know if you're listening, but thank you for jumping in. It was really fun. And the video did pretty well considering it's not a tutorial. I never count on my non-tutorial content to do well. So when one does, I get happy about it. So you can have somebody match your freak in any department. We shared one where the person loves Dorito snacks, and she's holding all her snacks, and she's looking for somebody who loves Dorito snacks as much as her. I did it with public dancing. You could do it with anything that you're obsessed with, whatever it is. If you go into Sephora and you're obsessed with a certain aisle, or if you are obsessed with a certain bagel place for breakfast, or whatever it is. It's a really fun one. There's so many ways this can go. Boom. Love to say the realtors, but if you're a realtor and you're sharing a favorite type of house that you love, it could be, can somebody match my freak? If you love Tudor style houses and you're in front of one, whatever, take it and run with it. It can go in any direction. Have fun. All right. I mentioned already the editing workshop, which is at 10 o'clock. So hop on it, hurry up, stop listening and come back later. Go register and meet me at the workshop at 10. It's going to be fun. Let's talk content ideas. So the first one is, travel tips, unique travel tips. When visiting, there was a creator who did a video about travel tips when visiting New York. You can create your own version of this. My gosh, I should do one about New York. But it's so funny because I don't think of myself as somebody who would recommend travel to New York. It's lifestyle in New York, lifestyle things that I would recommend. Almost non-touristy things is what I would recommend. But you can create your own version of a travel tip video and give your followers a unique perspective on the things you like to do in a place you go to, or your favorite, or your hometown. I love the word hidden gem because with my daughter-in-law this weekend, when she was making content, I said, a really good buzzword is to use hidden gem if you're sharing something special about your town or the place that you're sharing about. Because people love a hidden gem. They want to think that they're getting into something that not a lot of other people know. Oftentimes the hidden gems go viral and they're not so hidden anymore. But it's a great phrase. You stop on it when you see it. So feel free to use hidden gem as an idea, travel tips, whatever you like, and create a fun and entertaining video about that. The second idea for today is to seek out a template. This could be an Instagram. Like I just said, you can go to the plus, click on reel, go to the top, look at the templates, pick one, just pick a random one and do it. That's one way to do it. You can also scroll along in TikTok. When you see a template, grab one of those, use it, see how that creator uses it. We did one for you today. First trend is a template. The other thing you can do is simply go into CapCut and tap templates and scroll along some templates and find a new template. Make one up that's not trending and have some fun and see if maybe you can create a template that ends up trending. You never know when that's going to happen. So have some fun with templates. And then the third idea is to do a summer date idea. I love this idea. So this would be sharing your favorite idea of something you can do with friends, family, spouse, or on a first date, something that you have done that was unique. Oh gosh, if you think about it, some of those creators that go viral with their little funny first date stories. Dare we mention Taco Bell? Because we all know what that one is. That was a big one several years ago. So think about maybe sharing a crazy first date you had and where you went. You can even do something like that. You can take this one even further without it being you can do a summer date idea, or you can do your first date. Recall your first date with your spouse if you're married to him now. Married to that person, him or her. Okay. So now I'm going to move into the tutorials. Here we go. I only have one for you. Sorry. It was a crazy week, but I managed to do, I'll call it a 3-in-1. I did the whole CapCut template, ways to use templates. So this was if you want to use 2 musics in a CapCut video. If you lose your music when you go and you tap the template and it takes you over to CapCut and the music disappears, how do you get it back? If you see a template and it calls for 1 long video or 4 short photos and you want it to be 4 videos on the one that has 1, or you want it to be 8 photos on the one that has 4. I shared the tip and I talked about it in one video, but then people were like, can you show us please? So I did a whole demonstration on how to take a CapCut template. It has 1 video slot, but you want to have multiple photos in it or multiple videos. And I demonstrated exactly how you can do that using that existing template. So check it out. That's my hot take for a tutorial vision today. Okay, I'm going to start wrapping it up here because I shared music suggestions in the newsletter like I always do. And there's always a lot of people always asking about music. How do I find trending music? Where do you get the trending music? All of those problems with music. So I always say, listen, that's why every week I try and we do a lot of research on the music. It's looking at all the music options, figuring out which one's trending, figuring out how many videos have been posted recently with it. Honestly, it's a lot of work to find trending music because oftentimes the For You page is sending you old videos and then they're old trending music. So it's not even great to hop on those. You want to find out what's up and coming, what's new. Unreal. So it's hard. It's a lot of work to find. Sometimes you can tap on into the music and look at the top 50, but I do that every once in a while. And the same top 50 have been sitting there for weeks. I'm not even kidding. Weeks. And I'm thinking, why isn't this updating? Because I'm sure the same song that's in the number 1 slot it's been in the number 1 slot for 3 months. I don't think it's the same one that's number 1 right now. So that's why we're trying to provide for you as many music options as we can find, so that you have something to tap into. And I try and vary it up so that it's like a more slow, more emotional piece, and then more upbeat, dancey thing. Maybe it's like more of a lip syncy thing. I just try and vary it up, but I want you to have some options depending on what type of content you do. Okay, that is all for me today. I'm going to say we didn't get any questions this week that are shareable. There's one question about the Milwaukee Library has a creative TikTok account. Their very verse pin video, how can I support public libraries, shows a model celebrity AI character floating and through the scene. Do you know how they created this? Can you do a tutorial? That is a very specific question that I will have to look at the video and then figure out how a tutorial is done. And my guess is there's an effect that was used, whether it's either in CapCut or maybe something that they created themselves by cutting out a character and taking it off the background and putting it onto their video. So that is a very, very specific question. A lot of times I welcome questions that are a little bit more open so that I can answer it for a broader amount of people. So please share your questions if you have any. I'm happy to answer them and I love answering them. So maybe Friday, if we have some new questions, I'll answer a few of those. Now, don't forget to go and click apply if you're interested in learning about some content opportunities, because those are coming pretty quickly down the pike. I'll tell you that. Get on it this week if you can, because I have one client that's already asking and I want to be able to provide some people for him. So do it now. And it's really helpful to know, things like what type of creator you are. Really, really helpful to know, because that's going to tell us a lot to hook the clients up with the people. Okay, so I hope that you take me up on that one. And if you landed here by accident and by some podcast search, by accident, by happenstance, go to hellosocialize.com. Make sure you're getting the newsletter, because a lot of the things I talk about in the podcast come in to your email box in the newsletter. All right, I'll see you shortly at the workshop, and have a great week. I'll see you back on Friday for a nice strategy session. Bye.